Tonight, from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's a special prime-time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback, now in his third season, Jalen Hurts.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The numbers for Sanders last week, he was creeping up toward 200 yards. Thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Our eyes and attention are on the fullback. Big-time carry, big yardage. But how about the guys up front, the offensive line? A lot of people think they may have to block it differently for the fullback to get big yardage. They really don't. Because he's big, strong, and powerful, a lot of times he makes his own way. They may not have to block as hard.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Boy, nearly intercepted right away. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts, eluding the pressure right, and brought in by Braid. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Throwing is Hurts. Steps away to his left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Green Bay's offense trots out, and just as it has been since week 1 of the 2008 season, Aaron Rodgers leads the way now in his 18th year in the National Football League.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Rodgers now on first down. Throw complete to the tight end, Tonyan. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The numbers last week for Tonyan: 4 catches, 67 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Hassan Reddick. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Play action. Here's Hurts. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Sanders is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Point after here coming up. And it's good to make it 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers, a quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. So this game of ours, Charles, you know, the talk of the NFL world all week. Two unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while. But two teams like this, and I remember in preseason, you looked at schedules and said, I think these two are on a collision course. It'd be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
Here's Ward to return. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Room here to run. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders. That's his 19th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So a roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rodgers going to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Rodgers again now. He'll get this to Lazard. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Parkey is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are offense for bigger points down the road.
And out now come the Eagles.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
A gain of 32 that time.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Here's the jet sweep to Pascal, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Hurts.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And his kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3.
So everything else is going right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this.
Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Rodgers.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by James Bradbury.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visiting Bills who were able to come away with the victory on the road. Josh Allen, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. Kadarius Toney, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. And then finally, a Cyber Monday edition of Monday Night Football, as the final game of November is the Steelers and the Colts from Lucas Oil Stadium. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter.
Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And his throw here is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Hassan Reddick make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Now for the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. It's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
A short kick taken at the 18.
Yeah, he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on here to punt it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football, because they've got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Second down, back to Sanders. 62 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, Hurts. He'll buy some time right. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Rolling to his right. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins.
Down inside the 10.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, touchdown number 15 of the year.
And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The Packers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he is going to have a Packers first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Now it's Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for the Michigan Wolverine, Donovan Peoples-Jones, but it'll be 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Then he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick, his 2nd sack of the night.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
That's complete to Cobb. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. The kick by Parkey is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check smash, alert, alert.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Sliding out of the pocket. Sanders has it over the middle. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
A short kick taken at the 18. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And that unbeaten record very much in jeopardy. It's been a great first few months of the season so far, but they have run into a buzzsaw here, trailing big in the fourth quarter.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now Rodgers.
He'll go right back to Tunyon.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Rodgers to throw once more. Caught on the right side by Jones.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Anthony Harris.
And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
He's going deep for Brown. It got his man complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A big play there for Philly. And even 70 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Philadelphia, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for the Packers, there will be no perfect season here as the win streak to start the year ends at 11. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.